Okay, I think that looks good. All right. Okay, let's start. There we go. Well, welcome to this edition of Amateur Radio Video News. I'm Gary Pierce, KN4AQ, and we are at Dayton 2007. And with me for this trip is my friend Jeff, AC4ZO. This is Jeff's first trip to Dayton. Yes, Jeff is a Dayton version. So I'm going to kind of let him lead the tour this year. And you can see Dayton through his eyes. It's Friday morning. It's very early. Things haven't really opened up yet, so we're just going to get started. But you've had a minute to look around. Do you have any first impressions?
Well, it doesn't look like Hamfest I'm used to, that's for sure. I feel very fortunate to have seen it before opening time. We're just a few minutes before opening now, so I think the scene is going to change a lot over the next couple of hours. I've seen a lot of pictures from Dayton, but never any with it looking like it does at this moment.
All right, well, let's take a look at the flea market first. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend for the Hamfest. Not very Dayton-like, but it's going to be great. And so let's look at the flea market first, and let's get started.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, you're supposed to say the camera looks cockeyed.
Oh, the camera's a little cockeyed.
No, I think it'll be fine. Geez, you forgot.
I'll tell you something that's true. It was my 41st Dayton in a row, contiguous.
No fooling.
I came here at 14 when I was a freshman in high school.
41 years. Why have you not aged?
I don't know.
This is a rotary spark gap transmitter from about 1916, just before World War I.
1916. Is this a complete transmitter?
Yes, it is. This is the high voltage spark induction coil. This is the tuning condenser. Here's your variable helix to determine your tuning. And this produces a mighty roar, lots of sparks.
Across these little gaps at the bottom I can see that line up?
Exactly, yes. You would use a telegraph key to key this, and you would send dots and dashes through the ether. This would wipe out TV and radio reception for blocks around if you connected it to an antenna.
Cash, real money. Hands in hand. From the IRS.
Saw you making a purchase here. What are we getting?
Well, getting a cabinet for an R390.
A cabinet.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a hard to find item, or?
It certainly is.
$200. Is that what you paid?
Yes.
Ah, oh, good. Okay. You know, it looks like the kind of thing that there wouldn't be much demand for, but if that's what you needed.
Well, if you
there's
got an
nothing else that'll
R390
do.
or a 390A, this is a cabinet for it.
Says Stromberg Carlson on it. I thought they made telephone equipment.
Oh, no, they make all sorts of equipment.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
Sure.
You know, that cabinet that feller bought was $200, and when I first arrived, if I would have seen that cabinet on the table with the price of $20, I would have thought he'd never sell it in a million years. But he got what he was asking within an hour of the start of the Hamfest.
These are solid brass iambic paddles. I make them in my shop at home. I make 5 different versions ranging from a very small one here. It's used for usually low-power backpackers up to a brute force one that if you don't like it as a key, you can use it as a weapon. It weighs 5 pounds.
That's the one. This is a Gibson girl, and I don't know a lot about it, but I can tell you what I know about it.
It's an old ELT.
An ELT?
Emergency locator transmitter.
Oh, okay.
Well, they were made for the aircraft bailout, and then you'd turn the crank, and that generated an emergency signal. There were certain emergency frequencies that they are monitored all the time at that time. You could even do Morse code on them if you knew the Morse code. And they were for bailout of airplane or bailout from ships, whatever happened. That was their emergency. They had balloons. They had a balloon that would fill up with helium or hydrogen. You stick it in the salt water, and then that would go up and pull your antenna up in the air. They had a little kite. The big kit of it. There was a kite that would be air currents would hold your antenna up.
It's a lot of stuff you're going to have to hope survives your crash.
Well, yeah, that's true. But, you know, it made them feel good, if nothing else.
Dave, what do you have here?
We got an Alliance rotator, a U100.
All right.
Well, I put on here it might work because, well, there's a little extra feature there.
What's in it?
I don't know, but it's good for case parts, so we'll go with it for that.
It hasn't always made that sound,
Well,
has it?
no, probably not.
We try and keep everything $1 because nobody in our company went past 6th grade, so this is the only way we remember. It makes it very easy for our customers, no arguments.
All right, so how much is this?
That's $1.
Oh, how much is that?
Oh, this is only $1.
How much is that?
Everything's $1.
How much is that? What's that I just saw you carrying? It looked mighty heavy.
That was a Peter Dahl transformer.
Peter Dahl
yeah.
transformer. What's
Yeah.
that used in?
Usually any homebrew amplifier that you want to build, she's about 2,400 volts AC at 2 amps continuous, so it'd make a nice amplifier.
That's 5,000 watts.
Well, nah.
What's something like that weigh?
65 pounds.
Holy cow, how much would the amplifier weigh when you're done with it?
Probably about 250 pounds.
Allow me to show you the quarter wave. This is a true quarter wave 2-meter antenna.
That's pretty good.
Actually, it's 1987, and it's Denver Mint. Well, I saw all these for $10, but this one I sell for $10.25.
Okay.
This is actually the Binford model. It's a Binford model 2007, and we've had several offers that we've had to turn down because it's actually display only and not for sale.
Okay, so we'd have to order this.
Yes, it's special order. It's a 3.5-year battery pack, so it's on its 4th year, so it's now not working.
Jeff? What? Where?
Hey, can you stop there, please?
There we go. We're getting on live here. Who y'all with?
Can I talk to you for a minute on video?
Sure,
He's talking to us on video.
We're live on the internet, man. We're getting places, Lake Havasu City, Arizona checked in. A German operator checked in.
I want to show you a map. We've got a map of all our visitors on here.
Oh, there's Northern Ireland checking in.
If you click right here on location of our visitors right here, you will see a little dot on this map of everybody that's watching us right now. Look at this. There's the United States, there's Europe, India, Australia, South America. There we go. I can even read that, Gary Pierce. So actually we can mount the cam up here, you know, on the helmet cam, but we found on the helmet cam that we move too much like this, and it makes people dizzy.
You guys have got some radios that you just don't see the dealers selling here. They're mighty green. What can you tell me about them?
Well, they're PRC 68Bs. They were made for the military. They cover their FM radios that cover the range 30 to 88 megahertz and 2.5 kilohertz steps, and they're programmed with 10 preset channels. There's an antenna coupler adjustment here, frequency readout, and they operate either wideband or narrowband FM, so they're compatible with either military or civilian equipment.
We're running them on 6-meter FM, which no one around the ham set, very few people work 6 meters. So we've basically got the frequency to ourselves. So most of the military collectors here run 6-meter FM equipment. That's how we keep in touch. These were used in Desert Star.
This is what we call the antenna easy lifter. It attaches to your RV. It moves your antenna so you don't have to get on the RV and move it up and down.
What's this logo on your shirt? It seems familiar, but it doesn't look exactly right.
Well, I'm wearing a Ham Sexy t-shirt from last year, from 2006. One of the members on our Ham Sexy board decided to model a thong, and that's actually, it's an actual picture of her.
Ham Sexy, did you say, from last year?
Yep.
What's that?
Hamsexy.com. It's a forum and message board. It was kind of a parody of ham radio. We laugh at ourselves as much as we do anybody else.
So, how long you been a ham? First time to Dayton? Bill, I'm looking for a manual for an STS D21T. Do you have one?
We just might. I mean, we have about 10,000 books here, so.
Well, I need the Mark II.
Yeah, I think we have that.
I just made up that number.
Well, this would be the HP. I think we're gonna be somewhere in here. They're all lettered, okay, guys?
All right.
All right. Enjoy the show.
Okay, thanks. This is looks like a torture device, this chair. What can you tell me about it?
Shiatsu massage chair, programmable, computerized, set it to your body. Regular retails for $2,000, selling it for $1,000. Brand new.
All right, can I try it out?
Sure.
Well, I tell you what, I thought it might make a good chair for operating during contests, but it's got these two knots right in the middle of my back, and maybe that would be good for contests. You'd never fall asleep sitting in this chair, this is for sure. Looks like it'd be mighty comfortable, but I'm here to tell you, it's not. And I guess that's the idea. These things in your back move around, right?
They go up and down, yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks so much.
This is my first transmitter, the old Heathkit DX100. Look right down here, Jeffy. It goes to 11.
Here's my easy button. Says easy, right?
Repeat after me. I am not a pleasure unit.
Usually you had to hear this and decipher the words.
If you were doing serious contesting and needed to get up to go to the restroom, you could get up in a hurry with that. Well, we're just about at the end of the flea market, and it is huge. It is really, really massively huge. I knew it was big, but I didn't envision anything like this. I have seen so much more than I expected to see again. Just cruising through in a hurry, if you just wander up and down the aisles and look at everything, it's about 6 hours in the flea market alone. If you stop to look at anything, it's going to take more than that. Well, I guess we'll make our way inside and see the indoor stuff. Well, here we are inside. I don't know how inside's going to be compared to outside. I hope it's not as big, but it looks like it's going to be just as exciting.
Well, the main feature of this truck is the satellite dish. With that satellite dish, we can get connectivity, we can get internet access. We've got a 52-foot mast that we can incorporate the radio systems. We're carrying 14 radios and 17 antennas and more antennas stored in the storage box on the roof over there. We've got a TA-33 tri-bander at Yaesu rotor up there on the mast, so we could run 500 watts HF, got the SGC amplifier.
Chet, what's the vehicle worth?
They don't know. The Ford donated 10 of the vehicles. Sony donated a lot of the equipment, a lot of the labor was donated. So the actual cost of the vehicle, if you had to go buy one, $300,000, start there, probably $500,000. It's just a lot of equipment involved there.
This is called Easy Hang.
Oh, what's it for?
Hanging up antennas. And New Year, the new design that has a fold up so that we can get it a little more compact.
All right.
And hit it one time, pull it back, and that'll clear a 100-foot tree.
Holy cow, we'd like to see a demonstration. Could you pop a line over into the Yaesu booth?
Probably, but I don't think they'd like it.
We have the new FTM-10
which is a dual band rig, and it's designed for the outdoors-minded person. They have one installed there on their Harley-Davidson motorcycle. And the unique feature of this is it is capable of operating as an interface unit with your Bluetooth that you may already have for your cell phone. I think that may be a first in this area, is the Bluetooth operability. And for the amateur that has recently upgraded to general class, they have the new FT450. It's a low cost, considerably less than $1,000, brand new transceiver that enables you to transmit on all amateur frequencies between 1.8 and 54 megahertz with up to 100 watts of output power.
Thank you. How do I look? Better? What we're looking at here is a pretty big ring rotor, bigger than I've ever seen before. What can you tell me?
Well, this is the model to fit round 65 tower.
Oh, what's its weight limit?
I think the tower's the limit. It weighs approximately 400 pounds, the rotor itself. I've got two of these down in Jamaica I helped put up last year at the 6Y1 Yankee Victor, and there's a pair of the big Stepper IR monsters on them. And I had more pleasure using the antennas than actually putting the rotor up.
This is for the ham that's got too much money.
Hi, I'm George from Chicago, and I just made general. I'm now KC9 KTW/AG, and I'm very proud of it.
Well, yesterday was a big day in the flea market. Today will be the inside day, and you should see all the stuff. Not a lot of people here because we're still about a half hour or so from opening time, but because we're media, we get to come in early. There sure are a lot of organizations here, and you see them at every Ham Fest, but not to the extent they're here. Here's AMSAT. They've got a large area, and at the end, and even a larger area, is ARRL headquarters and the Radio Society of Great Britain and American Scanogram. I'm not sure what their special interest is, and 1610 AM Information Radio. Don't know what that is either. I ought to tune into it while I'm here. And some magazine I never heard of, National Communications Magazine. Quarter Century Wireless Association was just on the other side of the curtains here. So I got to ask you, Dave, do you get a lot of questions about the little green man?
Oh, not really.
Has 1010 International noticed much of a difference with new techs?
Yes, it's building up. We noticed it right away, and we're now starting to see an increase in membership. We're starting to see a lot more 10-meter activity locally. We're encouraging local clubs to have 10-meter nets. We're trying to get the word out from our organization to encourage, 10-meter operation. It doesn't have to be 1010, but we are trying to get a lot of 10-meter activity. Trying to encourage techs to get on the band, high frequency.
This is the ARRL Expo. This is its third year here, filling up a little bit of the space that the Hamfest has been shrinking out of. In the ARRL Expo, you can find lots of things that the ARRL supports. There would be DXCC card checking over the way. There's the Volunteer Examiner Coordinator. All the publication sales are here. There's a section for section managers and other section volunteers. The IARU has a booth here. National Contest Journals over the way, and QEX, the technical publication from headquarters. Over here would be media and public relations, and even a software repeater directory. And Gary told me to tell you that bit about the Hamfest shrinking and ARRL taking up the slack. There's plenty of places to buy things. You look good in suspenders with your call sign on them. Well, it's getting closer to 8 o'clock, which is opening time, and there's a lot more activity. Look at all the folks setting up.
Welcome again to Dayton Hamvention, the 2007 version. It's about 30 seconds till 8 o'clock, so let's open up inside and outside. Come on in.
Gosh, I don't know how many indoor halls there are here, but this is the third one we've been in, and a lot of interesting stuff. I can see NorCal QRP Club over here, manufacturer of a lot of kits and so forth. QRP ARCI is down the way there. I can see Cantronics, a few places you never heard of that sell some specialty tools. There's a water pump and a drill bit, but over the way is the RF Connection and Tar Heel Antennas, two of our vendors in Raleigh. We're deep into the second day now, and I've still got this perpetual grin. It's really very, very large.
In 3, 2, 9, 4. Hi there, I'm Gordon West, and I always watch amateur radio video news. What's amateur radio video news? Huh? Maybe you can tell me in 100 words or less. Anyway, good to see you all from the Dayton Ham Radio Convention 07. 73 from Gordo, WB6NOA.
Thank you. You did great.
Okay.
I expected nothing less.
New Ham! New Ham! Give her a big hand.
All right, now this is interesting. A while ago we were at QRP Row over here, and over here we have alpha amplifiers. These your amplifiers?
Yes, they are.
They look mighty big.
Yes, they are, and put out a lot of power.
These fellas across the hall sneak these into the shack and operate with them under the table from time to time?
Not that I know of.
We're making a video for our website, cmgham.com. This is our first video that we're making from Dayton, and we're using the money that we make to hopefully buy a new video camera that's better.
Oh, okay. And you come to Dayton every year?
Yes, this is our 5th year.
Amateur radio call signs?
No, actually we don't have licenses. Yeah, hopefully one day. Not now, but soon.
I'm Mary, WX4MM. I'm the president of YLRL. We are an international ladies radio operator organization, and we have almost 700 members right now. Our certificates are available to all UOMs as well. You can get Worked All States YL contacts, Worked All Continents YL, and DXCC YL contacts. It's a little harder to get than the OMs are, but it's a much prettier certificate.
Making fun of ourselves. We like to make fun of ourselves.
Well, you come to the right place. How you doing today?
Good, Brandon. What's hamsexy.com?
Well, that's a good question. Hamsexy.com started when some people noticed that there's certain hams that maybe take themselves a little too seriously. You know, the guys with the 10 or more antennas on their vehicles.
That would be me.
The three or more HTs clipped to the belt.
You're hitting close to home.
I only see 2 there. Those are what we call ham sexy. And we're here to sort of identify those elements within the hobby and make light of it.
Evidently, I am ham sexy.
We're all a little bit ham sexy.
Well, here's something that I've never seen before. Maybe it's totally unknown. RF Space. Sure has a neat looking display.
This is a spectrum analyzer. Basically, it digitizes the RF, has a USB port, sends the data back to the PC, and then the PC displays and processes it.
It's for receiver transmit.
It's just a receiver / spectrum analyzer. And the demo we're doing here, we're showing as a pan adapter, you can connect it to the IF of a output of a general coverage receiver and go above 30 megahertz. So we're basically displaying all of 2 meters here at Dayton. So this is all the activity on 2 meters.
Gordon West came by our booth at a boat show out in California, and he had asked us if we've ever marketed this tool at any of the ham shows, and we had not. And this is our first year here in Dayton. The guys that do ham radio are hands-on as far as they're good with tools. They see the benefit of the clamp tights. It's such a versatile tool, and they use it for so many things that we're real excited about being able to be here and had, like I said, great response.
Geez, I didn't buy one of them alpha amplifiers because it was too heavy to tote, but look at here, I could have just shipped it home. Well, here we are at the close of day 2, only a half a day left to go, and I'm still having a wonderful time. I don't think I've seen everything there is to see yet, because there's a lot. Looking forward to tomorrow. Gosh, my feet hurt.
I told you, out, we're closed. Out, we're closed.
I'm going.
Thank you.
Well, it's Sunday morning, last day, and I haven't put my ticket in the barrel yet, but I'm about to change that. There are a lot of prizes here, a lot of big prizes. Gosh, it must be fun to purchase the prizes for a big ham fest. Well, here's the newest from ICOM. It's much like Riley was talking about yesterday. It has one thing in common with radio since the beginning of time: a big knob.
Our new product this year is the ICOM 7700. It's a follow-on product in kind of a mid-price range to the ICOM 7800. By eliminating the second receiver in the radio, they were able to reduce the price significantly and maintain the same performance level. So you get the same screen, the same 3 roofing filters, the same low noise floor, the same connectors, the same DSP. Everything else is virtually identical, but at a much lower price point. This is going to come in about December in about the $6,000 price range.
Oh, don't wait till something's happening here.
Something's about to happen.
Something's about to happen.
I would like to subscribe for 2 years. What do I have to do?
Well, you have to fill out this blank, and then you have to give me $26.
This screw here controls the tension, and it actually gives it quite a range of tension. The further the screw goes in, the lower the tension on the paddle for closure. Back the screw out a lot, and the tension goes way up. You're moving the fulcrum point of a lever.
Ah, the spring is right at the fulcrum point. I'll be doggone. I bet I've got a dozen of these and never knew that.
Yep. Well, that's how it works.
It's my first trip to Dayton. If you were to give somebody advice on their first trip here, what would you tell them?
Spend money here.
If there's one thing I want to see while I'm here, what would it be?
If there's one thing I'd see, I would actually, honestly, there's really not one thing. You have to walk around and just absorb everything, and you have to do it at least 2 trips. Since the FCC changed the licensing, we've seen a lot more people who are buying HF rigs. We're getting the young people in. Our handhelds are going. We're doing good overall.
We've just left the D-Star Forum, and there's been a lot of forums here. I think I attended 3 or 4. I haven't been able to attend forums in a while at a ham fest, so it was real nice to be able to do that. But gosh, the diversity of the forums. There must have been 40 forums here this weekend, and although they did a great job of keeping the topics separated so there wasn't much overlap between things people would be interested in, there was still enough that it makes it tough to decide which ones you'd want to go to. And the attendance was, there were a lot of people at these forums. Well, if you had 1 minute to tell us what's new from Kenwood, what would you tell us?
This is the TEM V71A. Great crossband repeat. It has easy interface with Echolink. A great display. It stands up well in the sunlight on your car dashboard or wherever you put it.
Mighty compact for all it does. What's in the case over here?
Down there is one of the newest prototypes coming late 2007 sometime.
To just look at it, it looks like your regular dual band mobile with the removable faceplate. It's a prototype, and this particular model is due out this fall. I didn't get a lot of information about it. It's APRS ready. I do know that about it, which means it's got some digital capability, and it's Echolink ready as well. How's the Elenco booth been this weekend?
It's been busy this weekend, real busy. Right now, I could probably show you our 17 series, the V17, the V27. This is 2 meters, this is 220. This is actually new this year. We don't even have it in production. Show you our dual band mobile 635. It's 2 meters, 440, has crossband repeat. It also has a 3-color display. You can change it from violet, orange, and blue.
Last time I saw a call book, it was about the size of a Chicago phone book, and I was in it, but the print was about this high. Call books don't look like that anymore. What have you got?
Yeah, actually it has been the size of 2 Chicago phone books, because it was one of the books was just the US amateurs and the other book was the rest of the world. So, and we stopped production the printed call book in 2000 in favor to a CD-ROM. The CD-ROM, you can see here, contains all the amateurs, both the US and the rest of the world, and just one single CD-ROM. It's much lighter than the 2 original books are.
Will I find all these maps on that CD?
Yeah, sure you do. We have about 300 maps in total on the CD-ROM, covering each US state and virtual NEDX country all over the world with one of these maps.
And I love maps. If I was going to look you up in the call book, what call sign would I look for?
It's Delta Bravo 3 Zulu X-ray, because we are coming from Germany.
This is pretty neat. Something I've seen in the magazines years ago, but never actually seen one. This feller sells these circuit boards that you can wire up to little metal contacts, and there's no movement to them. They're just touch sensitive. Well, I didn't really want to ask you anything. I just had a comment. I'm from the Neighborhood Association, and I wanted to talk to you about the heavy metal you have up here.
Okay, well, let me speak with someone more experienced. Jim?
Voice beacon. Here's something that can hold your frequency for you while you're sleeping.
I'm Rich Mosesen, W2VU, editor of CQ Magazine. When I really want to know what's going on in ham radio, I watch amateur radio video news.
Okay, there we go. Well, Jeff, it's been a long weekend. My feet are tired. I think your feet are probably tired, but give me your last overall impressions of Dayton.
My feet hurt. It's really very large. It's everything I had always heard it was, and even though what I've always heard is tough to imagine, it surpasses it. It's really, really a big fest with lots going on. I'm glad I came, and I think I'll be coming up here again.
I was going to say, you're going to come back with me next year.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Okay, well, thanks for helping out with this program. And for Amateur Radio Video News, I'm Gary Pierce, KN4AQ, Jeff, AC4ZO, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Hey, that was pretty good, but your camera's crooked.
No, I think it's okay.
Well, what's amateur radio video news again?